up, guys? This is Bobby Okereke, linebacker with the Indianapolis Colts. Make sure you follow my guys at the Anvil, best sports talk podcast going on with Colts right now. Tune in.
It seems like a Sunday, like anyone before. That's what you think. So you open up the door, you feel the buzz, you can hear the people singing battle cries. Lucas Oil Stadium's about to come alive. Blue and white jerseys, some old and some new, all gather round South Capitol Avenue. They come for the tailgate, some drive and some buy. Colts fans show up with fire in their eyes, yelling, "Go Host, go Big Blue!" We're in the stands, the tried and true, here to watch this football sensation. Come on, let's go, Colts Nation, the Colts Nation. We take this very serious. It is
All right,
not
everybody
a
be
joke.
quiet.
We're back, all the players. We're back in it, coach. We scream and we root. We raise up our fist to support this team from Indianapolis. Go Host, go
Hey,
Big Blue.
I'm about to go live. I do not want to hear your argument.
Cheering for you. Here to watch this football sensation. Come on, let's go, Colts Nation. Colts Nation. Colts Nation. Screaming, go Host, go Big Blue. We're in the stands, the tried and true. Here to watch this football sensation. Come on, let's go, Colts Nation. Yeah, Colts Nation. That Colts Nation. Come on, let's go, Colts Nation.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome. It's that time of the year. It's that Sunday where the Colts come back and play the Houston Texans. This is the pregame show. This is the Anvil Show with your boy Big P, the voice, Clyde, and your man CJ with our special guest, my son Tobias. What to do, y'all?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
Hey, we got a lot to go through in a real short time. I know everybody's ready to get their hot wings hot and their cold beer cold, so we're going to jump right into it. The way we're doing our pregame show now, it's not just going to be one or two people talking keys. We're getting everybody involved. So we went into positionals, and everybody's going to take a position. Clyde, I believe you got receivers. You want to start with them?
Yeah, I do. So first things first, little birdie tells me, let's not give up on the TY dream quite yet. His son is still enrolled in Indiana playing football. He was on You Got Moss this morning, so I seen that, and then I did some other research. So looks like he's at least going to be there until his son gets out. So maybe that's a thing that's coming in the future. Just throwing it out there. The ghost may still be living. However, going into positionals for this week, right? Really got me thinking about something. Like with the exception of Alec Pierce, for the most part, we got a veteran core that doesn't have experience. Like, think about that. We got a veteran core, 3 years or greater for most of them, maybe 2 for Mike, but they don't have a lot of experience. So right now, when we talk about our keys, just go out and be the player that you were, that Chris Ballard saw, that's now going to be able to have that opportunity because we have a proven quarterback. I think it's real simple, right? Like, it's not about flash. It's not about flair. It's whatever skills that you possess, whether that's being a bigger receiver, or being a speedy receiver or whatever, just go out and do that. Because in all honesty, like to me, this is a wide open opportunity for these guys. Not a lot of pressure just hanging over their heads right now. I mean, Michael Pittman is definitely the star of our core, but it's kind of a good thing for the league to not really know who these guys are. So keys of victory is, like I tell my son, he's a receiver in high school. Look, win every route, whether you get the ball or not. Make your blocks. Don't miss key assignments. You know what I mean? Make sure you understand every freaking route combination, and learn as you play, but play loose and have fun. There's nothing really, I don't need to get technical and try to break this down with X's and O's. It's really like just go out and be yourself. Because I know they got Derek Stingley Jr. That's their rookie that they're highly touted on. Talking about Houston, but other than that, this cornerback or secondary isn't one that I think the coach should necessarily worry about. Like, oh, this is the best in the league, and even with situations where you think players are going to be better than what they are, they don't always do that. And we can talk about Jalen Ramsey last Thursday night. Like, a lot of people want to say he's a 1 through 3 corner in the league, and man, he got burnt toast all night against Stephon Diggs. So, in all honesty, go out, have fun, but even more than that, like, think about the opportunities. This is a great day for Paris Campbell. He's been having that injury bug all over his head all his entire career. Here's a chance for him to get out of that. Michael Strawn, he said he wants to be more involved. You know what I mean? Pittman, Patman, Doolin, like all these guys don't really have too much pressure on them, in my opinion. A lot of people will look to them as the problem if we're not, an efficient offense. But at the same time, you got to think about Kansas City. Before Tariq Hill and all that stuff, there's just a bunch of random dudes that's in there. McCole Hardman and a couple other guys. And those guys played their role. And, of course, like I said, Tariq was the star. But we already kind of have that star with Michael Pittman. So be loose, play free, and get after it. That's as simple as it gets, bro. Like, there is no XO breakdown. Just win your route.
Yeah, it sounds like what you're saying is just good, fundamental, smart football. Nothing crazy, nothing out of the norm. Just go out there and play good, strong, fundamental football.
Absolutely, and I haven't even touched on the tight end group, but I'm throwing them into that receiver group as well. Like, I mean, we have potential mismatches all over the field. I mean, we have a huge receiving core and tight end group. Like, everybody is large with the exception of like Paris Campbell. He's only like 6'1", I think. But everybody else is 6'3" or greater, and that's starting to Doolin. I think Doolin's 6'2.5", 6'3". But everybody else is tall, has the ability to win in certain situations, whether that's goal line or short yardage. And plus, we haven't even talked about the impact, which, I'm not going to steal Carvey's thunder, but the impact of having a Jonathan Taylor, you should have a lot of one-on-ones today. You know what I mean? So win your one-on-ones when you get them. So that's the wide receiver breakdown. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, and I'm going to pass it back to UP.
All right. Carvey's going to do some running backs, and he's got special guests. Let's see that big head boy.
All right, this is my son right here. Yeah, Tobias. It's going to be his first football game, first Colts game to be watching right here.
That baby's 1 month old and weighs 87 pounds. He will be forever known as Hoss.
First of all, he's 4 months and he's in the 6 to 9 month close, whatever. He's in the 76 projectile. It's crazy though. But now let's talk. Yeah, I know, right? Let's talk about the running backs though. Like you said, everybody got to run, do what they have to do. But Jonathan Taylor, I know he's great. I know he's good, and I know he could do what he do. But I am kind of nervous on him not playing during the preseason. I don't know if it's going to hurt us or not. But long as he rushed over 100 yards, because it's statistic facts where if he rushed over 100 yards, we usually win the game. We usually win the game hands down. And last year against Houston, he ran 134 yards. Naeem Hines had a reception of 36 yards. So if Jonathan Taylor run over 100 yards and Naeem's do his thing, I think Naeem's going to be more of be used as pass catching this scheme right here, see what he does as a slot running back slash hybrid, you could say. But I think that them two are going to go off. So just be looking out for Jonathan Taylor going off and Hines getting a catch and receiving touchdown.
Facts. And like you said, man, they gonna stack the box. So them stacking the box, I think that goes back to right. Like you have to pick your poison. Let Jonathan Taylor run for 20 or take your 1-on-1s. And I'm going with they're gonna take their 1-on-1. So this is why the receiver core need to show up today, because it's gonna at least pressure going forward for Jonathan.
Absolutely.
Sorry, brother. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say absolutely. You know, it's just like they with the wide receiver core. If they take the eyes off on the wide receiver, they focus on Jonathan Taylor, which is going to be a big mistake. And you know, if they take the eyes off of Jonathan Taylor and focus on the wide receiver core, it's going to be even more scarier. And then we got the offensive line, and defensive line. They're going to do their thing. So, you know, but I ain't going to steal your thunder. So I'm going to pass that to you, Pat.
All right, now we get into my favorite part, the trenches, baby. God, I love the trenches. And I've said it time and time again, that's where a game is won and lost. So jumping right in, and I won't throw a bunch of stats out at everybody. But the Colts offensive line is rated 10th by PFF. And the Houston Texans offensive line is rated 22nd. So if you go by anything on stats, that's where they come up with a lot of their ratings. You know, so we're definitely heavy on our offensive front, but make no mistake, Houston is trying to build something out there. They got some key pieces. And in order for me to talk about their offensive line, I got to get into our defensive line first. And I think the key person here is going to be Yannick and which side he lines up on. Because if he lines up on the left side, he's going to go against Tunsil. Tunsil is pretty damn good. I think he can put up a good battle with Yannick. And that changes everything. If Yannick is getting too much pressure from the other side and he's not doing his thing, busting through the line, getting to the QB. Now, if he lines up on the right side, he's going to go against Howard, which I think is a better matchup for him. But get Yannick doing Yannick things is going to free up Buckner, going to free up Grover from the double teams. I think that right there is the key for our defensive trench. Our offensive trench, the biggest thing I'll be watching is our left tackle. God, the name just jumped out of my head. Help me out, fellas. Pryor. Matt Pryor. His run blocking is phenomenal. His pass blocking got me a little not worried, but suspect, because he has failed us a couple times. We've seen it. So hopefully he steps that part up.
How would you combat that? I know what I would say, but it's Frank Wright and Marcus Brady. How do you combat a situation where you're kind of shaky with that backside in the passing game?
It really comes down to the Texans' defensive game plan and how aggressive they're going to be coming after Matt Ryan. If they're going to be super aggressive and just try to knock the living ice off of Matt Ryan, then then you're going to have to go the other way. Either run, short dumps. Matt Ryan's going to have to get the ball out of his hands really fast. Now, if they're stacking the box and their sole concern today is stopping the run, things are a little different. And honestly, I don't see them stopping us too much if that is their plan, because I think our front seven can move their front seven. Absolutely. Right. And Jonathan Taylor's going to go up. And correct me if I'm wrong, Carby, but didn't he do like 135, 140 yards each time we've seen the Texans last year?
It was like 134 yards.
Yeah. So he gets crazy yards behind this offensive line against the Texans. But, you know, when you're building a team, you build the team to be in your division.
Right.
And
So,
our running game, Tennessee's running game is that. You got to build that front seven for these two juggernauts. So
I agree.
I don't see him getting 180 damn yards again, because look, if I know that that's what they got to build, you know, damn sure they know how to build a damn team, because they're a whole lot damn smarter than I am. But that's the way I see it. I mean, you know, all depends on how aggressive their defensive coordinator wants to be with us. You know, and I love the aggression, because, you know, we're used to Peyton Manning. He loved it. Blitz me, blitz everybody you got. I'm going to dink and dunk you all day long. We're going to move down the field and score.
So I
believe Matt Ryan's that same kind of quarterback. I apologize.
So I got a question for you. Does it hurt our defense not having Darius out there, or no?
It's always going to hurt in some aspect when you have a leader like Darius Leonard.
Of course,
now,
yeah.
I don't think it's going to hurt us play-wise, because Zaire Franklin, good friend of the show, is 100% capable of filling those roles. EJ Speed, he looks really good. I think a lot of people don't give him enough credit. He's fast, he's strong, he gets to the ball, and he just has that nose to get himself into the plays.
Right.
You know, so either person out there, I mean, Zaire's, believe it or not, I love Zaire. You know, not just because, you know, he's a good friend of the show, but I love his play. He's a mini monster out there. You know, he's not a Ray Lewis. He's not Darius Leonard. He's not, you know, anybody else, but he is a monster out there, and he loves to hit. He's quick. He gets to the ball. You know, I feel confident enough that he's going to make the plays.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was going to say, too, going back to offense, what you'll probably see a lot of early on, definitely, you won't see Matt probably with his back to Pryor. So I'm thinking we just reverse it. It's going to be a lot of, like, short side passing where Matt can see, you know what I mean, that left side of the field, versus play action where he's turned his back and looking the other way. So that's probably what you'll see early on, quick passing. And Matt has an equal balance, so he's not worried about backside. So I don't expect to see a lot of big play action early on in the game. But as he starts to trust and get that confidence, you'll probably see that. So that's the way I would combat play calling. Like, if we are unsure 100% on pass protection on the blind side, then just face the blind side. You know what I'm saying? Keep it
Absolutely.
in your,
You change that blind side
exactly.
to the side that you have more trust in. Absolutely.
And then as far as
Darius, oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, as far as Darius, you always miss him, but you miss him not because of what the boys that replace him are, but you miss him because of pure playmaking ability. I don't have any doubt at all that, you know, Zaire Franklin or EJ Speed very well could have a 9, 10, 11 tackle game. But at the same token, you know what I'm saying, Darius Leonard can have a 9, 10, 12 tackle game and force 2 turnovers, or at least punch out a ball that maybe we don't recover. But it's always in those receivers' minds or those backs' minds, like, oh shit, Darius Leonard's out here swiping and hitting at the ball.
Yeah.
It's
that
energy. It's that energy they're gonna miss that he brings to the field.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. See, sorry, change the subject. I seen that Jake made a comment that have him on the show next week before the Jags spank that behind. I'm telling you right now, before we move on, Jake, I'm glad you're a Jacksonville Jaguars. Keep that same energy after the game. That's all I'm going to say. And leave it like that.
I'm in Jacksonville next week, Jake. So if you're going to the game or if you live there, let's try to meet up before pregame. So I'll be there.
Look at the Anvil. Look at the Anvil traveling. We got country in Houston today. We got you in Jacksonville next week.
Yes, sir.
Woo.
Trying to make Denver on the 6th too. So I'm going to be all over the map. You know how it is football season. It's time for the family to understand. If my wife listening, babe, we got to do some talking. I got a lot of places to be soon. in the name of football. So, but boys, I'm gonna get ready to jump out off of here.
All right, before we go, final prediction, like score.
I know I was messing with Matt the other night, and I'm sorry I wasn't on Tuesday night. That was a great show. I know I told him like we might win by 55, but that's not real. It's a division game, so I'm gonna be humble and honest. I say, we shaky at the beginning. We'll let them hang around. I'll say it's gonna be like 24. I'll say 24-10.
24-10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 28-14.
31-7.
Oh, okay. Well, there it is. Okay.
I'm just gonna call it how it is.
Well, that's the first pregame show, gentlemen. I appreciate your time as always. You guys are my friggin' rock stars. I love you guys so much. But
absolutely love you too,
guys,
big man.
It's time to get your hot wings hot, your cold beer cold, and as always, go Colts.
Go Colts.